Welcome back to designing and publishing a website in Figma Sites. In the previous episode, we have finalized this layout over here. We utilized the grid auto layout feature to make this work. And in this video, I would like to get back to the brand assets page. And specifically, I would like to focus on this element right here. That's going to be the download assets UI. So just to reiterate, the brand assets page is going to be a page where things like logos, photos, and other downloadable things related to our app, to our company are going to live. For each of those sections, we will offer the user to download those files, right? So in this episode, I would like to sketch up a simple flow of how this element should actually behave and think about what things we can add, like interactions, micro interactions, transitions, and so on we can do to make this look interesting and add a bit of a delight to our user experience. Now, this element goes beyond just using it on a brand assets page. This is something that's quite frequently used wherever you are selecting a format to download your files in. You're going to be able to use this component. And of course, as usual, if you'd like to save time and support the channel, make sure to check the link in the description where you can purchase the source file for this entire series. And also, if you need personalized help, you can now book a one-to-one live call with me, also using one of the links in the description. So let me just duplicate this element over here so that we can make some sketches in this area. And one of the rules you should follow as a designer is called a principle of progressive disclosure. Here's what Interaction Design Foundation says about progressive disclosure. Put very simply, progressive disclosure aims to show users what they need when they need it. Designers use UI patterns like modal windows and accordions to hide advanced features and information. All right. We do that in order to essentially keep the UI clear and uncluttered. And so you want to use progressive disclosure because it allows your users to process the information step by step, thereby reducing the cognitive load they are experiencing. For example, if you take a look at this element, here's information number 1. You can actually download, right? Can actually download the thing. That's what this element does. Then you have format selection, right? You have format selection, and then you have the actual button. That's the call to action. Theoretically speaking, you don't need to show all of these at once. So if you take a look again at this layout, if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense to show basically a format selection if you don't know that the user actually wants to download anything, right? So what I was thinking is we could sequence this component into a few steps. We could do basically step 1 would be the default state that you would see at all times. The purpose of this state would be to give the user an option to decide whether they want to download or not. And all that we need for that is basically just make this a one giant button that says download section 1 assets with maybe an arrow suggesting the fact that there is some continuity. All right. Because we want to also, after all, eliminate duplicates. So if you take a look here, you have download once and then you have download twice. So we want to avoid that. Right? We want to avoid duplicating information. And then if the user decides to actually, they make the decision whether they want to download that or not, they can click on it and they're going to transition into another state. Okay. They're going to transition to another state through clicking, right? Through clicking, they transition to another state. And in this state, we want to give the user an option to select the format, right? So here, let me make a note, give them an option to choose the format. So that would mean basically using this middle part and putting it here, right? So here you could say something like choose your format, right? And we could get one option another option, third, the fourth one. So it's going to be JPEG, SVG, PNG, and all formats, right? And now you want to always give the user options. So maybe they click this on accident. So why don't we add a close button on the right side so that they can, when they make up their mind, they will actually be able to click this, and go back to the previous state, okay? But if they make a choice, for example, they select the first option, they're gonna transition into another state. Let me actually change the color of this to also magenta, right? And in this state, we're gonna also get the same window, but after they make their choice, I think it would make sense to actually remove the headline. So this headline over here would be removed, and one of those options that they selected would be highlighted. And I think it would also make sense to assume here that if they click this button, once, that could be an accident, right? Clicking it once could be an accident, but clicking it once, then selecting and clicking it again to choose a format, the probability of that being a mistake is low. Therefore, we could actually remove the close button, right? We're going to remove the close button because we're going to be assuming that they no longer need to revert those actions because the user probably knows what they're doing. They want to go for actually downloading those files, and they don't need to have the option to revert, to basically go back, okay? So that means we should replace this icon over here with a download button, with an actual download button. And we could make an icon, the recognizable download icon, to make it completely clear what's going to happen next. Okay, after the user actually clicks the download button, okay, we want to give them a confirmation. So after they click this button, they're going to transition to this state, and this state will essentially show a confirmation of what has happened, right? To assure the user. So you always want to give the users options. So I'm going to write this down. Options. You want to give the users options and assurance. Okay. And we are providing an option here. And here we're going to provide assurance. So I'm going to do something like a check mark, and it will say your download has started. Okay. And that's usually when you get the browser built-in progress bar for downloading or something. That's something you don't usually show in the UI, especially for simpler things like that. But again, we want to give the user options and assurance. So in this case, we want to give the user an option to download another format, right? So download another format. This is going to be a button again. It could be maybe like just underlined text, maybe not that visually prominent. In any case, this would actually, upon clicking, this would take the user back to this variant, okay? Because they have downloaded a file, they want to download a different format. So let's just send them straight to the format selection, which is the second state, okay? Now there could be some like animated transitions in between those states. So I think there's a lot of room to create some fun stuff, and we're going to be working on that in the upcoming videos. And I want you to observe how simple this element actually is, but if you want to create a design that's actually high quality and delightful and just good, it requires a lot of thinking, a lot of work, and I guarantee you it's going to feel better, it's going to feel more satisfying to interact with this thing we have created here, with this flow, rather than the default flow, right? So what we did, we redesigned it, we redesigned the flow, the element, so that there is less information visible up front, right? Progressive disclosure as discussed. And then also we're going to be adding more animations. So I think it's overall going to be just more playful and pleasant to interact with, I believe. This is not going to be a repetitive action, something you do over and over. So if you do things that are supposed to happen over and over in an interface, you basically want to keep it to as few clicks as possible. But with a flow like this one, that's usually just happens once or twice per visit. The visit is also usually rare. Then I think you could create something that is more elaborate, let's say. So creating elaborate flows is not always the best choice, but for things like this, where efficiency is not really, doesn't make or break the product or design, you can have a go at it if you want. Okay. So again, if you want to save time and support the channel, make sure to check the link in the description. Also, if you need personalized help and would like to meet me on a one-to-one live call, you can book one using the link in the description. Leave a like if you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next one.